We all go through it, like, boom, anger,
denial, all of
yeah.
that. I even tried to tell a sister about it. And
I was gonna ask that. Did you try to tell her?
that crash burn exploded. Because this was around the memorial last year when this started happening. And I was staying with the sister last year because I had broken up with this guy that I was dating. We were living together, and
Jehovah's Witness guy?
No, he was not a witness. Like I said, I had been fading, but I was Pimo, basically. So not Pimo. Pony. There we go.
Yeah,
there we go. Pony. That's the correct one. So when we broke up, because I was Pony, I couldn't go back to my parents' house. So my dad was back being an elder, so I couldn't live there. So I was living with a sister last year, and we had grown close in that time. So I was like, she's close. Let me tell her what I'm finding out. Like, it was around Memorial time, and I had decided I'm not going to the Memorial.
Yeah,
you was done.
Yeah, I was done. I'm not stepping foot in a kingdom hall ever again in my life.
Right. So
she was asking me, she was like, "Are you going to the Memorial?" And I was like,
"What about that?"
Right. I was like, I don't think so. And she was like, "Well, why not?" Immediately got defensive.
Yeah.
Well, why not? Why are you not going to the Memorial? This is an important event. And I'm like, well, I've been doing a lot of research and things. And
trigger word.
Research.
And I'm like, there's some things I just don't agree with. And she's like, well, what don't you agree with? And I'm like, well, the whole shunning and disfellowshipping, I don't think that's fair to people.
Right.
And then I was like, I've also been finding out about a lot of CSA things. A side note, I am a victim of CSA in the organization.
Oh, wow.
And I initially thought that I was a one-off situation.
Right.
But once I found out this is a common thing, that's why it was really a big blow up. So when I found that out, I was trying to tell her, I said, I realized there's a lot of CSA in the organization that they're covering up, they're not doing anything about because of a 2-witness rule. And all she said to me was, where are you getting this information from?
That's a Holy Spirit response.
And that you can give clear evidence, and it's like, once you're done, it's like, anyways. So when you get that, it's like a script.
It's a script.
Is. And I remember I paused. I was like,
does it matter?
I was like, did you not hear what I just said? I was like, you know what I just said, lady? You asked me where I got it from? This is deep. If I heard that, I'd be like, whoa. But you want to know where I got it from? And I was like, I researched it. She was like, you can't believe everything that you research. And I said, I got it from CNN. Like, you don't trust CNN? And she's like, yeah, no. See, it's an imperfect organization, so you cannot use those instances as a whole representation of the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Why not?
They're imperfect. People are gonna make mistakes, but Jehovah's Witnesses are the closest thing to the truth, the real thing.
It's like, I don't want the closest. I want what's it. Don't give me the closest to it.
And I was sitting there baffled, like, what is happening right now? And I knew in that moment. And she told me, she said, you need to let me know what it is that you're planning to do as far as being a Jehovah's Witness, because I cannot have that kind of spirit in my house. And I knew in that moment, if I continued to say anything else, she was going to kick me out. At that time, I didn't have anywhere to go. So I just shut up. I said, okay, all right.
No,
I understood. Yep.
Right.
That's so crazy. It's the same script. Whenever you talk, every witness that woke up or ex-witness that told somebody, it's the exact same response.
Yep. And that's sad. That's brainwashing. That
it is.
Yeah, because it's not your ideas and thoughts. It's a script. You've been told to say, if anybody questions, what have you been reading? We're imperfect. Like, it's like you can almost say it with them because you was taught to say that.
Right. And I think that's what's so dangerous actually about Jehovah's Witnesses and other cults that are like it. It's not that they're imperfect. Everybody is imperfect, right? Like everybody has good, everybody has bad. There's things that happen and things just are what they are sometimes. But the problem is the lack of accountability that they take, you know what I mean? And the lack of transparency that they have with their members. It's like they're trying to hide all of this bad information so that you're not able to make an informed decision about your life. Your life. Like that's the problem, you know? If it was like, okay, yes, this happened, but that's not what we stand for, you know what I mean? Like, and we're going through the right measures to fix these kinds of things, because things are going to happen in no matter what kind of organization that you're in, you know what I mean? But it's the fact that they try to hide it and still pretend like they're the best organization without a damper, without nothing, you know what I mean? And always talking down on the Catholics, talking down on the other Christians, talking down on this. It's the same thing.
And it makes it sound like it's a once in a while mistake. Like, we're just imperfect. If people knew the numbers, like this is stuff that happens all the time. It's lawsuits going on. The people in charge are billionaires. Like, we know they might have something nice, but we look at them like humble people. And you know they get to stay in Bethel. No, they got real estate. They rolling.
And they're people like they do wrong. You know what I mean? Okay, so you've only been out for like a year now. You faded this time, or did you get disfellowship?
Oh no, I didn't say nothing to nobody.
Good for you. You don't owe them anything. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I don't feel. We did the same thing. And we have videos and stuff. I don't owe you an explanation.
They might have seen them all.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
Well.
They have.
So we might be disfellowship. I don't know.
I have no idea.
All years.
I don't know.
I'm still part of our service group text message.
Encourage you to come back.
Oh my God! I wonder if I still have the text message from a couple days ago. It was so annoying. They had messaged in there like, oh, make sure you guys send all of your information to us and that you're getting these texts. And then somebody else responded like, you know, in these critical times, it's so important for us to, you know, do. I was just like, you guys are so annoying.
Time's been critical for a little minute now.
Okay. Let me see if I can find the actual. It was so funny. Oh, thank you, friends, for your prompt replies. This is vital in the times that we are living in.
Gosh.
We live in the same time.
I wanted to laugh at it. They would be like, who's this number?
Get me out of here.
Literally. Okay, so you've been faded for like a year now. And what's that journey been like?
Oh, it's been a journey. It really has. Because like I said, I had that incident. That was the first one. But I was living with her. So she was a social witness. So she was always having gatherings at her house. I'm living there, so I'm like coming out trying to mingle with these witnesses. And it's awkward.
Of course.
Because I'm looking at them like, y'all look crazy. You know? But I can't say that, but I have to act like, you know, this and that. So did that. I moved out into my own place like October of last year.
Congratulations.
And then that's when like I was like, I need to speak out against this because the things that are happening are crazy.
Right.
People need to know the truth about the truth. Right. You know? It was like eating at me. I still didn't say anything to anybody else, like witnesses or anything. I didn't mention it to my parents, but they would ask me like, "Oh, you going to the convention? You going to the assembly?" I'm like, "No, I'm okay. I'm good." I think my parents got the hint, but yeah. And so when I started making the videos, I posted them on like Facebook and Instagram, and when I posted, my most popular one was the CSA video about my story. I posted that to my Facebook. This actually just happened, I want to say, we're in June. Back in May, or April or May.
Really recent.
And the sister that I lived with, she saw my posts. And she sent me a screenshot of it. And was like, is this you? Did your page get hacked? And I'm like,
girl, you know it's me. It's a whole video.
Yeah, my face is right there. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna take all that effort to hack me. And
Like, what you think
AI.
is that? Right. I was
Yeah.
just going to say that. It's funny, man.
So, and I was like, no, I'm not hacked. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And she's like, my heart is so broken. I hope you heal from like this pain that you're going in. And she blocked me. I tried to reply and
I
say,
hope you heal.
yes. I tried to reply to say, I hope you can have an open mind one day. We can have a conversation about this one day. Didn't go through because she had blocked me. And her daughter blocked me as well because, you know, I'm sure she told her.
Yeah.
Right.
And then at that point, I had also had a conversation with my parents, like, because of my CSA case, they did nothing about it at the time.
And they knew about it?
They knew about it.
Wow.
They did nothing about it. Literally, police were aware. They told them, do not press charges. So, again, my dad was an elder at the time. 2-witness rule. So nothing was done. Because how are you going to have 2 witnesses? But anyway.
You're never going to have 2 witnesses, really.
Right. So I got into therapy, and it was suggested that I have a conversation with them about my pain so that I can heal. I had a conversation with them, like, why didn't you guys protect me? All of that. They was just like, there's nothing we can do. That's the past.
Okay. Wow.
Basically. We're sorry that you went through this. We're sorry that you had to deal with this. Sorry that your life was so hard. They never apologized.
Never took no accountability.
No accountability.
No.
So at that point, I just started posting everything on my social media, like every video that I was posting. And I talked about them in that video.
Yeah.
Because that's a part of the story. This is a witness thing.
Real quick, if you don't mind me asking, how old were you?
I was 8 all the way up until 11.
How can you not take any accountability whatsoever and it's a kid?
And that's so common in this organization with the parents because they are told protect your brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Even if no matter what they do, your brothers and sisters are just make it to where the organization don't look bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you were 18 and just out there. No, you were a kid.
Yeah.
Under their supervision.
Yep. So once I posted that video and I guess I talked about them, my sister tried to contact them and everything, but we've come to the conclusion, realization really that we're blocked. So my parents have now blocked me.
Your parents?
My parents have blocked me. I haven't talked to them in months.
Wait,
So,
you and your sister?
Yeah, me and my sister. Yep. I don't know how she got looped into that, but yeah, no, we're blocked. So that's how the journey has been going.
Oh my God.
So is your
so
sister?
sorry.
Did she wake up also?
Well, she faded like years and years ago just because she didn't want to. She did. I was the one who told her about everything behind the scenes. She didn't know that until I found out.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
That is crazy. I cannot believe that.
Yeah.
I don't understand how, like that's what I mean. Like your own blood. Like you'll take the side of an organization. Like I'm just trying to think of myself. I'm not even a parent yet, but I'm trying to think of myself as like a mother. I don't think I could ever do that to my child.
I couldn't either.
Let alone my like knowing that there's a grandchild involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like I can't do that to them either because I know in the back of my head there was some wrongs that I did and I didn't raise you to be fully prepared for this world. You know what I mean? And give you all the tools to prepare yourself. And I'm not going to take that out on my grandkid. You know what I mean? I can be mad at you all I want, but...
Yeah. He asks me all the time, can I go to grandma and grandpa's house? And it's like,
God.
how do I tell him they're blocked? I mean, they blocked me. There's no way for me to contact them and tell them they don't want anything to do with this. So you're an extension of that. How do I tell a 10-year-old that?
Yeah, he don't understand it.
Yeah.
And what's so screwed up about that is that not only do they not understand it, but it's like, what was the point of it at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Like, what was the point? What was the point of having to literally shun your kids?
Right. What good is that gonna do? It's not gonna bring me back.
Right.
No. And they don't get that. They feel like the more they punish you, it'll make you come running back. But they don't realize it's Santa Claus to us. Like once you realize this thing ain't what you thought, you're not going back.
There's no going back. Yeah. My grandpa had a conversation with me recently. we had never talked about it before, but he had seen like some of our videos and was just like, did somebody hurt you? And I'm like, no, but a lot of people have been hurt. And it's not something that I can necessarily ignore.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's not something that I'm ever going to go back to. They know better than to even ask me about it because it's not happening. You know what I mean?
No.
But at the end of the day, like, I'll allow you to, you know, pray to your Jehovah or do whatever it is that you want to do, you know, but don't come over here to me with any of that.
Right.
I'm not interested. You know what I mean? And that's
they
just
don't,
period, point blank.
they don't understand boundaries.
Mm-mm.
Like, even with us, most people that are ex-witnesses are not going to approach witnesses and try to force them out.
No.
They will come to us. Are
Do
you
you
coming
think?
back?
Right.
Why aren't you coming back? Well, it's like, well, since you brought it up, I'll tell you. But they will continue to harass you and try to get you to come back, or feel like they got to shun you until you come back.
Or they do exactly how your parents did. And in their mind, they teach you, the indoctrination is once somebody leaves the organization, let alone become an apostate and begin to speak out against the organization, they are now spiritually dead.
Right.
So with them being spiritually dead, they're basically physically dead to you.
Right. And that's
It's
crazy.
over.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so recent. What the hell?
It is.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you for even being able to speak out about this because that's crazy. But I'm sorry that is happening. So, oh gosh, my next question was going to be, how's your mental health right now?
You know, I've been in therapy for a while.
That's
so
good.
I'm good. I'm working through it. You know, they tell me I got PTSD
Of
because
course.
Religious trauma as well as the CSA. But I mean, like I said, I'm doing a lot better than I was when I initially found out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all good.
That's like the worst part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, have you prepared yourself differently for this like new world?
Differently? I guess I'm more vocal about things.
Vocal. You got an education.
Right, I did that.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's-
definitely.
You just recently graduated, right?
Yeah, I graduated last year.
Nursing
Hey,
school.
congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because while I was pony and I was like, I have a kid.
Yeah.
You know, my mom had gotten me a 9-to-5 job when I was like 20. And I'm like, this is not sustainable. I hate working 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did go to school.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
It took me a while because I had my son. But
That's okay.
You did it though.
You did it.
Yeah.
You did it even while you were going through all of this. That's crazy.
Yeah. So check that off the list.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And you know the pits of your strength, because that's a lot of things to go through in your life and to still be around and ready to be there for your son.
I have to for him. And I think all the time, like, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't even be where I am right now. Because it drove me to do the things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it helped out. Yeah.
And you have this like beautiful opportunity to know that these are the things that you went through,
Right.
and to raise your son, differently if that's
For
what
sure.
you choose.
Yeah.
Birthday parties, all
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have your friends over, baby. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like I'll tell people, like, when people wake up and then they have like a child, it's like you were the sacrifice for the next generation.
Yeah.
So they can be free. So they don't have to grow up with the strict rules of being a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
And it's like somebody had to go through it to free everybody from now on.
Right,
Yeah.
definitely. And no matter what, I think whenever you're raising kids, there's always going to be something that your kid finds like with a problem that you raised. That
For sure,
that's
for
just
sure.
normal.
Yeah.
But at least it's not like
Not a
you
cult.
raised me in a cult, right?
Yeah, like that's
Right.
not normal. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I want to ask. Okay, you did mention that you're in therapy and you've been in therapy for a while. I think that's a really good tactic on how to kind of move forward and recover. And you also talked about speaking out. Have there been any other ways that you have used, like any other tools to try to move on?
Well, the XJW community.
Yeah.
The groups on Facebook, Reddit, things like that is helpful.
It is
to
helpful.
read those stories and just get encouragement from those people, because it's a shared experience, a shared trauma. So having that is very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you first wake up, you feel like the crazy person.
You do.
Yeah, and then you meet all these other crazy people, so called, and you realize,
Right.
oh, we ain't crazy.
Right.
Like, we just regular. They crazy. Yeah, for real.
And it's like other isolated events that happen. It's like, okay, even though I felt like I was very isolated, here's a whole bunch of other people who also felt very isolated. And we get to come together and I think it's therapeutic, you know what I mean? And I think eventually for some people in their journey, they start to find that the XJW community is no longer therapeutic for them. And that's a beautiful time for them too, you know what I mean? Because it's like, all right, you've like moved past this, you know? So there's nothing wrong with that, you know? For some people it can be very triggering, and for other people it's a good space, you know? It serves its purpose for sure.
All right, Marla, so what is something that you would advise other people waking up or going through this transition?
I would just say take that leap of faith.
Ooh,
take it.
That's good.
Just do it.
It's going to be scary. It's going to be hard, but it's worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not impossible.
Right. Life can be beautiful outside of it, without all of the control and the constant guilt and fear. Trust me, when that goes away, it's not going to go away completely, but it's going to reduce tremendously.
Yeah.
And, you know, I thought I was depressed before.
Of course.
Like, severely. But when I came out, you know, of course with therapy and everything, mental health is a lot better than it was when I was an active witness. So
definitely.
And can you believe that she said that? Did you hear her story?
Serious.
Did you hear everything that she had to say? And her mental health is better now than it was then.
100%. Because you don't have the constant pressure to do this, do that, do more. So take that leap of faith. That's what I would say.
Okay. And you definitely feel like in that mixture of feelings when you wake up, of course, the anger, the confusion, being lost, but you also feel the weight lifted. Like all these rules are not real. Right. Yeah.
It's like, oh, now it makes sense why I felt that way.
Yeah. Because you want to be yourself, and it's like every direction you try to go, they box you. In every corner, like you want to express it, no, you can't do that. I want to look like, you can't look like that. I want to watch, you can't watch that. I can't listen. And you feel like it's something wrong with me. I'm not able to follow the same rules that everybody else is. And you don't even realize everybody else struggling too, but they just throw on this smile when they come to the Kingdom Hall. But everybody is just like restricted.
But they tell you best life ever, you know?
And we didn't come up with that phrase. It was given to us.
Right.
And we just repeat it.
Was it you who had red locks?
I had red hair.
And didn't they have a problem with it?
Yep, I dyed it, and then I went to Kingdom Hall. They immediately was like, "Oh, let's talk to you, sister." In the back room, had me in the back room crying, talking about I was stumbling people
because of your hair.
Yeah, and I couldn't understand it because I was like, if I was a worldly person coming into Kingdom Hall and I saw somebody with red hair, I'd be like, oh, they accept everybody.
Right.
How am I stumbling? I was stumbling them sisters that didn't like it. Them elders' wives and stuff. They didn't like it. I wasn't stumbling nobody else. But, yeah.
They wanted me to grown folks.
I hate that. I hate that. I always thought the hair color thing was so stupid.
It is stupid.
Because it's just such a tiny way of, like, expressing yourself. And I was always attracted to, like, the purple and blue hair. It's like the mix of it. And just the feeling of feeling like I could never get that was you're aggravating. I would get extensions that were like colored, and I would put them in. I would get colorful wigs, and I remember all these people thought that me and my sister were worldly at one point because we posted a picture on Snapchat, and she had like her hair was red, and then it faded into like a rose gold pinkish color, and then I had a purple wig. And because we posted a picture on Snapchat, we were getting people who were messaging us. Mind you, we were just out in service with these people the weekend before. Messaging us, asking us if we were worldly. What?
You know what? You never ask why as a witness. Like, when you hear the word stumbling, it's just like done. But imagine, like, even the tattoo things. Like, it was an elder that had a tattoo, but he had to cover it. How are you stumbled though? Like, I want to ask that. Stumble how?
Yeah.
Make you want a tattoo?
Right.
That's your problem.
That's your problem. That part. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think this would be a good question to end it on. But what are some things that you're able to enjoy now that you have left?
Everything. Birthday party. Celebrate your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just got back from Puerto Rico for my 30th birthday.
Okay.
So things like that. You know, I get to have my son and enjoy things. He can get to be in sports, celebrate his birthday with him.
Yeah.
You know, holidays.
Yeah.
You know, we've been celebrating Christmas last year. Things like that. You know.
All things you didn't get to experience.
Yeah, I don't feel guilty about the music, the TV, like all the little things that they tell you are wrong.
Right.
You just enjoy all of it without having that guilt and that fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
And you woke up young too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under 30, that's still young.
Yeah, you still could do the young birthdays and everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do we have any final thoughts?
Check out my channel, Marla Renee.
Yes.
I also speak out, so yeah.
We'll put it in the description box as well.
Yep. I want to thank Marla for coming, sharing your story with us. And hopefully this encourages anybody going through a similar situation or somebody that just wants to speak out and they're afraid to. Like, take your time with it, but eventually you are allowed to speak out. They can't control you. So hit Marla up on her channel. Hit us in the comments, our Instagram at Awaken Truths IG, our TikTok at Awaken Truths LLC.
We have our healing journals. We have the normal edition as well as the Pimo edition. And catch us in our next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.